educator for Fulton, Mason, Peoria, and Tazewell counties. And I am here with my colleague Judy Schmidt, as well as some of our Tech Changemakers. So our Tech Changemakers was a program that's developed and funded through a partnership with National 4-H Council as well as Microsoft. And it uses teens as teachers to help the community increase their skills and comfort level using technology. So it also gives our teens kind of an opportunity to give back to the community, to be civically engaged, to practice their communication and leadership and responsibility skills. And Peoria County was actually one of the first to pilot this program. It was led by Judy Schmidt, and teens have been engaged in teaching lessons on things like digital communication, using computer and digital apps, information literacy, and how to kind of assess the accuracy of information online, internet etiquette, things like staying safe online and online shopping. And they've done that with kind of community groups around, especially in kind of senior centers or independent living facilities with older adults. And once the current situation kind of happened and we weren't able to meet with those folks face to face, they started brainstorming some ways that they could still get their messages out and still be of service to the community. And this is one of the ways we came up with. So I am so excited that you all decided to join us. If you have any questions as the teens go through their information, feel free to type them in the chat box. I'll be trying to keep an eye on that, as well as hoping to post some links that they give out. And if you have any questions at the end, we'll have plenty of time for Q&A. So I will turn it over to our Tech Changemakers and let them introduce themselves.
So, hi, I am Maria Godmuller, and this is my first year being a 4-H Tech Changemaker, and I am going to be a sophomore in high school. So, how to stay active online. So, if you're really bored at home and you run out of ideas of something to do, or if you're on a Zoom call and you're tired of just talking to your friends and you want something to do, you can play a game called Pictionary words. You can play trivia or checkers. So below I'm going to show you how to do that. Pictionary words, there's a site and you can just go there and it's called Pictionary words, and you can play Pictionary, catchphrase, charades, and like a bunch of other games. So they give you they let you ask you what type of words you want, like if you want a certain like section, like if you want to play easy, hard, or medium. And then if you want to play with a certain amount of people, they ask how many people. And so yeah, and then you can either play that on a Zoom call or you can just play that alone with like a family. And so this is how it would look with a Zoom call. You just click to share your screen like Emily is now. And you just keep the app running, and then you would pull up the whiteboard, and if it was just like, you could either just draw on it by like moving your mouse around it, and then yeah, you can either write or draw with it. And trivia, questions, and answers. So a really fun game to play with people, either over Zoom or over just a dinner table or just hanging out. You can play trivia, and you have one person look up trivia questions, and then you ask what type, like if you want to play Bible trivia or sports trivia or celebrity trivia and stuff like that. And then you just go ahead and press the screen, and it would ask you the question. Everybody would have to submit their answer, and then it shows you the answer and it'll count up all the points. And so yeah, you can either play it over Zoom or just with your family. And online checkers. So online checkers can either be a one-person player game and you play against the computer, or you can pick multiplayer. If you choose the top checkers, the top link is just for yourself, and the bottom link is if you want to play multiplayer, and that can be played over Zoom with your friends, and or if you just want to play with them and not Zoom. Thank you.
I'm Mark Gottermuller. This is my first year as a teen tech maker, and I am 16, and I'm going to be a senior next year. So during this quarantine, many people have not had the opportunity to go to gyms to exercise, and usually, like when you go to gym, you get to meet your friends, you get to like exercise together, or invite a group of people to go with you. So they've done this through Zoom, actually exercising together, and then they find a buddy, and then you can find a video that you really like to do, and you incorporate that through a Zoom call, and you can chat with them, and then you can start exercising. And they really love doing that. And it's a really great way of actually getting people involved with your group of exercising members and like exercising together. And I found that the first link down there is Gold's Gym, and they actually have like a at-home exercising video. And the first one, like for Gold's Gym, I think you have to pay for a membership to be able to look at their videos for at-home exercising. But then Planet Fitness, for the bottom one down there, they actually have free videos where you can exercise. And if you like link through Zoom, you can watch it with your friends as you guys both exercise. And then verywellfit.com actually has some exercising programs that they like very well, and they give you links to what you can do with your friends. And personally, like my sisters and I have been running and walking, and it's been a lot of fun, like, getting to walk and exercise together. So there's a lot of things you can do to exercise during quarantine, and it's not that boring.
Hello, I'm Catherine Guatemala. This is my first year as a Tech Changemaker. I'm 16, and I'm going to be a senior in the fall. So I made a compilation of different online games you can play with friends and family during video calls. So these are games that are specifically made to accompany video calls. So Trivia Maker, this game it's family friendly. You can you do have to pay a subscription fee, but as you can see in the top screen, they give you a different choice of how you want your screen to look when you're playing trivia. It's compatible with all devices.
My sound cut out, so I'm not sure if they are having some trouble on their internet, but I am going to go ahead and advance the slides to Chelsea and hope that the Guatemalers can join us again.
Hello, my name is Chelsea Sanchez, and this is my second year of being a technology change maker, and I'm going to be a freshman in college at Bradley University. So first off, does anyone have like any favorite games that they play or any favorite apps? You can put it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself to answer. Well, one of my favorite apps is Farmville 2. So on Facebook Games, you can access a ton of different games. So you first log into your Facebook account and then type in Facebook Games into the search bar. Then you will choose a game from the list, either from the top grossing or the top free. And options for Play Now will appear when you click on the icon, such as the Farmville 2, and then it's going to say Farmville comes to life in a 3D world. And then in the left-hand corner, it has the blue box, which you will click to play now, and it will start playing the game. For Facebook Messenger, this is a great way to communicate with your friends, family, and co-workers, especially during like the quarantine and even after quarantine. And I know that there's an app for kids called Facebook Messenger Kids app, and it's used for grandparents to also communicate with their grandchildren. So it's a great way to stay in touch. So to access Facebook Messenger, first you log into your Facebook account on your computer, and then you'll click the top left bubble with the lightning slash, which is the Facebook Messenger icon. After that, you will click the notepad with the pencil icon to start a new message. Then you will type a name from your friends list into the to field. Select the people you want in the message. Then finally type the message and hit the enter key, or the paper plane icon to send. And to access it on a mobile device such as Apple or Android, you go to the App Store and search for the Facebook Messenger app, and then you will download it. After that, you will sign into your Facebook account. And once all that is done, you'll be able to send messages. So first, click on the bubble with the lightning icon on your device. You will see all your chats listed vertically. To send a message, click on the talking bubble formed as the messenger icon. Then tap the notepad icon and type or select a contact from your friends list. Tap done and type your message with a text box at the bottom of your screen. Finally, tap the paper plane icon to send. So some apps to access apps on the Amazon Fire tablet, first you go to the home page on the Amazon Fire tablet and you'll click the icon that says apps in the App Store that has the little smiley face swoosh. Then you will search for an app in the search bar, such as Angry Birds Friends. And then you will press Get App in the bottom right-hand corner in the orange, and then it will download the app and it'll open it. Some examples of apps on the Amazon Fire tablet: video and communications apps. So Pluto is a video app where you can access TV shows and free movies. Facebook and Zoom are used to communicate, such as like video calls, or the Facebook Messenger app can be accessed through Facebook, the Facebook app. And then youtube.com, you can search up tutorials about how to make a grilled cheese sandwich or different exercise videos. And YouTube Kids is used for like educational programming for children, so that during this quarantine they can still watch good television programs. And then some examples of games on the Fire tablet. So the Candy Crush Soda Saga, it's sort of like a clicker app. And then the Minion Rush, you just have like a little character and then you run through, you gain points and you get more upgrades. And it's sort of the same thing as Crossy Road, except with Crossy Road you get a new avatar, such like a new like animal and such. And then a really good coloring book game, which I personally like, is Color by Numbers, which is free. And after you complete a new coloring page, like more coloring pages are accessible, and it's just a lot of fun to do so. Staying safe while using apps and browsers. You don't need to pay a lot of money for an app to have fun. If an app asks for personal information, such as birth date, home address, and phone number, then make sure that it is an app you trust, and be wary of apps that ask for personal information, such as banking information. Do not send any personal information, such as credit card information, to another person through messaging apps, and do not put in credit card information for games that you do not trust. Make sure you have a strong password and that you remember it in order to access apps. With personality quizzes on BuzzFeed.com and OhMyDisney.com, avoid the quizzes that have the caption, "Select your birthday" or "Tell us your birthday," due to the fact that many people, such as hackers, can access that information by going on your history, and they can see like what your birthday is, so they might steal information using that information. If you think a link to a website looks suspicious, hover over it to get a glimpse of the website. Leave websites that ask for your personal or banking details for money. And here's an example of a quiz on Oh My Disney that asks for a birthday.
And let's go back. I think we lost Catherine when she was talking about Trivia Maker. So Catherine, if you want to go ahead and catch us up with that, and then we will talk about some offline ways to connect.
Okay, so Trivia Maker, as I was saying earlier, the person who has a subscription has to start screen sharing. And once they start screen sharing, then you can all play using their app. And okay, Houseparty is kind of different from all these other apps. First of all, it's free, so that's very nice. Also, it uses the video software. Is also it's all in one. So the video and the games You don't have to go through Zoom for the video and another website for the games. This app actually has the games with the videos, which is really nice. It's compatible with all devices, so you don't have to worry about what devices everybody has, and you can just add people by using your contact list. Jackbox games, it's also something you have to pay for, but if somebody in your group pays for it, then it's fine. But it's the same idea as the trivia games, where you have to, the person with the subscription will start screen sharing the game, and then everybody else has to go to Jackbox TV on their phone or their computer, and then they have to enter the room code, which the person with a subscription will give them, and then you start playing. And they have games in what are called party packs, and these packs include like trivia-like games, categories, like just fun family games and friends.
And I think we can skip forward and then talk a little bit about staying busy without being online.
So a few ways to stay busy without going online during quarantine. You can always do activities with family or whoever you're quarantining with, card games, movie nights, gardening, reading, all of those activities you can do without using any technology. Also, things if you want to do alone just to get some breathing time, taking walks, doing any kind of exercise outdoors, especially with the nice weather we've been having, writing cards to friends and family, or listening to music and podcasts. Those are all easy ways to just be outside and do things alone.
Fabulous. And thank you all so much. So I think that we have plenty of time for questions and answers if you would like to get any more information about what the teens presented, or just get their perspective on kind of the situation and using technology in this time. Now is a great chance. You can unmute yourself or type in the chat box.
Hey guys, how can you tell if an app is reputable? Because you mentioned the Disney one. It looks like it's coming from Disney, but it's asking for your birth date. So how would you suggest to folks that some tips for finding the apps and the sites that are better to use than others? Because you think, when it has Disney on it, that it would be something that would be reputable.
Well, so the Oh My Disney is actually run by Disney, and so that's something.
I think it was just an open mic. It's okay.
Oh, okay. And it's just like a blog in a way, but you still have to be careful with that. And for apps that you don't really know if they're reputable or not, I would suggest looking them up on the internet beforehand and getting other people's perspective just in case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there sites that you recommend that you can go to find apps and websites that are most reputable? I know Common Sense Media is a good one typically. Do you guys have any other ideas of other resources like that?
Well, I agree that Common Sense Media is like one of the best websites to go and search about these things. Usually whenever I need to look up an app and make sure that it's reputable, I just look it up on the internet, go to different websites and compare what they're saying to what the app is truly conveying and such. So that's how I figure out, oh, this feels like a scam, or this doesn't feel right, or oh, this is an actual reputable app.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do you all have advice on how to make a strong password?
Yes. So in order to make a strong password, you need it to be a good length. The suggested length would probably be from 8 characters to about 12. And you need to include some capital letters, some numbers, and some symbols such as the asterisk or the pound symbol. in order to make it stronger. And the weakest passwords are ones that are already kind of used. For example, password. And everyone knows about how easy it is to put in and such. So I would say in order to keep it like not confusing, but sort of good to remember, what I would do is I would look at an object and then sort of like match it with another object in the room. And then I would say, oh, this one needs to be a capital. Okay, so this needs to, instead of having water, I would put W and then the @ symbol, 7, 3, and then a capital R.
Yes, I was just gonna suggest that what we were always taught was find like 3 or 4 objects in whatever room you're at the time, and then put like dashes in between the words. So, for example, if I see a plate and lamp and I don't know, like a plant or something, you can put like those 3 words in right next to each other with dashes in between, because what if somebody's actually trying to hack you, like they're going to go through through all these words, but like if you just put 3 random words together, it's really hard to get your password. So
What other questions do we have? Would you all be willing to share a little bit about how you have managed to stay social during this time? So especially like, how have you been best connecting with your friends, your peers, staying in touch with folks from school? What have you been using that's been helpful?
So my school, we started using Zoom in order to teach us, and then they switched over to Google. But I know I've used Zoom to contact my friends, and that was like the easiest way to do it since all my friends have Zoom. And it was a lot of fun. We just like shared our screen, showed what we were up to. And I usually text my friends a lot and I try to call them. And so like just trying to keep that social interaction is very important, especially during this time.
I mean, same here. We did a lot of video calling. I think definitely for us, we use like Jackbox games with friends, because it makes it feel a little bit more normal, because normally you would be playing games with friends or doing an activity with them. So finding something to do online while you're calling helped keep me social, I think.
Fabulous. Thanks, guys.
What about suggestions for younger kids, maybe elementary aged? I know my daughter is 7 and she does have the Facebook Messenger Kids app, and she has some of her cousins and grandparents on there that she chats with occasionally. But are there other good resources for much younger kids?
I know that with Snapchat, there's like a certain restriction so that for kids, it keeps it more kid friendly and such, like when you put in your age and such. So it's a lot easier to communicate with your friends through that way. I've only used it once, so.
My children have iPads, so with those iPads, you can have an iCloud account associated with it, and so they can use the Game Pigeon app that is on all Apple devices. So they can only do it with people who are in their contact list, which is mostly us and their grandparents. But it does allow them to, there's lots of different games in that Game Pigeon app. So if your kids have an iPad, or if you have an Apple device that you would allow them to use, they can use that Game Pigeon app, and it has like word games or paintball or Battleship and those kind of things. And you can play them together, if you're doing it at the same time, or it can be done asynchronously. So you can do it, and then, whenever the other person they're playing with responds, they can do it and go back and forth.
Oh, thank you. I've never heard of that one, actually.
Yeah, it's you just download the app, but it kind of like embeds itself in the messenger part. So like it'll show up when you're sending a message as one of the choices that you can do once you download it.
Okay, great. There's so many options out there. It can sometimes feel overwhelming to know what to use and what's safe and appropriate to use. So this is just great information to have.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, I rarely recommend Common Sense Media if you haven't been on their website to check out, because they have just about every category that we've talked about and more. So they have apps and websites for parents. They break it up into different age groups and ones that use Wi-Fi and don't use Wi-Fi. So, there's lots of possibilities there you can check out.
Mm-hmm.
In the comments, Kelly mentioned the kiddos I babysit use YouTube Kids a lot. They really like being able to watch the large variety of educational videos. Also, I know my boss's daughter uses Facebook Messenger Kids app to play games with friends. My boss knows, and it seems great. So, and Krista mentioned, these are all great resources. She learned something new, so thank you all for presenting. If you are interested in using Tech Changemakers for a program or having a program for a community group or anything else that you're interested in, you can also visit the Illinois Extension website for our area and contact Judy or myself, and I'll send that information out with the email. So if you're interested in having them speak to a group you're a part of, they would be happy to do that. Any other thoughts, comments?
I hope we can have you all live and in person at the library at some point. I think you guys just are a great resource for information for everyone, adults, families, kids, and I'm just so impressed by you and how well you present and what a great job you've all been doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate everyone attending, and I will be sending resources out. So you all have a great day. Thank you so much.